Welcome to another installment of the APB Recap. Without further ado, let's get into it. This is definitely one of the wildest times to be on Twitter right now. People just simply cannot spread misinformation and fake news when Twitter just comes in and be like, you are fake news.
You are fake news.
This is genuinely one of the best Twitter additions ever, right next to the hidden reply feature. Let's start with one of the most baffling claims that I have seen someone make on this website. Bro, cannons are not lethal. That's right, guys. Cannons are not lethal. It's not like they're used by old ships to sink other ships and kill people or anything like that. Nah, that's not a thing that happens. It's like that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. See? The guy is just fine. Out of most cannon shots fired in history, how many do you think hit a person? I don't know. Loads? It's definitely not less than 1%, that's for sure. Cannons cause collateral damage to everything around it. So while it is possible that they do not score a lot of direct hits, collateral damage is still deadly. Modern guns are too lethal. Yes, I am aware, but that doesn't make cannons not lethal. And yes, this person eventually got corrected by Twitter with a simple reply. Cannons are lethal, with a link that explains the whole context. But wait! There's more! There was this Sonic NFT account smack-talking the new Super Mario Bros. Movie. Yes, the movie that was universally loved by the audiences, hated by the critics, and made $1 billion in the box office. Shame that the Sonic NFT account doesn't have that foresight. The same foresight that got them cancelled for... Ooh, that's not very nice.
Okuyasu, I heard it as clear as day. This sick fuck said the N-word. I just remembered I have a meeting at 8:30. Racist!
Yeah, this Sonic NFT account continues to talk trash. This time, they were talking about emulation and piracy and how it's a federal offense to do that. Emulation is a federal offense that can result in jail time. For your information, it's not. Emulation in and of itself is not federal offense. What is a crime is sharing the ROM files of the games online, aka pirating them. Don't care, still gonna pirate anyway.
You're hard-fitted indeed. Being a pirate is a wretched deed. Do what you want cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
It's piracy and morally wrong. No, it's legally wrong, not morally wrong. It's possible to be legally right, but morally wrong. That just describes Saul Goodman. It's also possible to be legally wrong, but morally right. That's why child predators got murdered in prison. If you do it, you're most likely poor.
Well, excuse me, princess.
I didn't choose to be poor, you poor shaming prick. And so are lots of people online. I still can't believe that poor shaming is still a thing in current year. But hey, I guess that's what happens when you're still committed to NFTs, which, by the way, how is it going? And yes, Twitter eventually corrects this misinformation with additional context, but boy, this person just doubles down on it. Twitter is screwing me over. The provided context is fake. Wow. How bold of you to now assume that the Twitter context feature that was supposed to fact check stuff is now fake. Nintendo takes down all emulation as people use it for piracy. No, they have not. They have not taken down the emulators because they legally cannot. They have, however, taken down game modifications and ROM websites. Emulators are not the same as ROMs. That's like saying a game console is the same as the game itself. Nobody dubs their own ROMs. That's a nice argument you got there, but why don't you?
Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Elon Musk, I paid for Twitter Blue, so please stop this dogpiling. Last time I checked, even the president gets fact-checked by Twitter. So just because you're using Twitter Blue, you are not safe from being fact-checked. Moron. And yes, this person gets fact-checked again by Twitter context. Seriously, amazing feature all around. If Elon does more of this, I think this place is gonna be slightly less of a hellhole. Alright, enough of Twitter autocorrect context drama. Let's get to the next one. Anonymity is a very powerful weapon that can be used to make all sorts of amazing changes around the world. Unfortunately, a lot of the changes being made by anonymous accounts are not always amazing. So I can understand why some people have the desire to unmask these anonymous accounts, especially when they got owned in arguments online. Being an anon on Twitter signals you're a coward! Yes. And
I missed the part where that's my problem.
I mean, it's not like we're gonna be convinced by you telling us that we're cowards for doing that. We don't really care you call us cowards. If we do, then we would unmask ourselves so that we are not cowards. It doesn't mean you're actually a coward. Whoa, 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 wait.
Hold on. No.
Excuse me, sir, but which one is it? Are we a coward or are we not? Make up your freaking mind. The only reason to be anon is fear of consequences or lack of courage. Yes, that's not cowardice, that's protection. This is you suggesting to a lot of people that they should go to war without an armor. Because that makes you a coward, I guess. You could certainly earn enough trust to compensate for that insulation, but you'd always start with a handicap. Yeah, just because we start off with a handicap doesn't dismiss the legitimacy of our points. Hundreds of anons in the comments think they're disagreeing with me, but aren't. We don't actually disagree with you, we just don't see why we should strip our anonymity for your own benefit. All other things being equal, the person with the real name and face starts with a credibility bonus. Actually, that depends on the person talking, because sometimes the person talking is so infamously unreliable that they would rather trust anonymous sources for it. Elon Musk isn't exactly an anonymous account, but he's not exactly a reliable source when you ask him how to fix Twitter. They are signaling the willingness to go down for what they are saying. That would imply that people online who don't have their anonymous accounts recognize the consequences of their actions. Most of the time, they really don't. And that's why you have people who expose themselves doing stupid stuff, despite the fact that they have their full identity out there in the open. Not really much that we can do to these people other than to let them accept our consequences. And also let us to move on to the next hoopla. One thing that I notice about the terminally political people on the internet is that a lot of them almost never operate very well when confronted with real life circumstances. There are right-wing pundits that don't even know how to do laundry because they just expect their wives to do that, or that it's a feminine thing. Seriously, look it up. This person over here is the most baffling, and I'd even say the most potentially life-threatening example. So to make a long story short, this gimmick account needs some help because his daughter's birth was tough. There are complications during birth, they had to transfer to another hospital. Now they have about 16 grand in medical debt, and they were not prepared for it at all. They are completely screwed financially. But at least all the family members, including the baby, are in healthy conditions. Great for them. The problem comes with the next part. The person was offered Medicaid, which will pretty much cover everything, but the person refuses to do so because, well, Medicaid steals from fellow citizens. Yes, because Medicaid is funded through the government, which means that it's funded by taxes, and this person thinks that taxation is theft. So there you go. I guess this person doesn't want to contribute into that. But then, well, he decides to ask the community for cash. No, really, he asked the community for cash to cover up the mounting medical bills that he had rather than just, take the freaking Medicaid. I mean, it's really amazing that you're standing up to your principles, but isn't e-begging people for cash the same thing that the government did while they're begging for taxes from people? I guess when you do it, you're asking the people voluntarily, whereas the government forces you to pay taxes. But I mean, theoretically, if you have the government power and your loved one is in danger, what makes you think you won't use your power against your own people? If you are that terminally political and adamant about your stance to the point where you're not even gonna abandon it even to save someone's life, more power to you. But you do need to realize that in a family, you're not operating on your own. You are operating with your partner and your other family members. I wouldn't be surprised if they find your behavior really stupid and just go up for the tax-funded health insurance. You are most likely going to lose the family vote. And by the way, this is all assuming that your story is true. Might not be. Just saying. Next hoopla. I remember the quote that was said by Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street. It's something about how he'd rather have his clients' money to his own pockets because he knows how to spend it better.
The way I looked at it, their money was better off in my pocket. I knew how to spend it better.
Sometimes, the reason why people got scammed is not because the victims are tricked, but because the victims are genuinely stupid.
Guess who's been paying off a car for 18 months of a 36-month lease and just found out what a car lease is?
Yes, this guy genuinely doesn't know what a lease is.
That is so much money to pay to rent a car for 36 months. Are you kidding me?
It's almost as if you are leasing it or something.
Oh, how didn't you know? Didn't you read the contract? I did, and I didn't understand the contract.
You freaking idiot.
You are here, and you're an idiot.
No, it's checking what I sign.
Yes, there is. It's called You. Guys, if you haven't seen the movie Straight Outta Compton, please go watch that movie. That movie is amazing. There's a scene where the NWA manager Jerry offered Ice Cube a contract, but out of all the members of the group, Cube is the only one who is smart enough to say this.
Jerry, you know I don't know what none of this legal shit mean. All right, none of us do. So we're gonna need a lawyer before we sign anything.
Seriously, guys, lawyer up.
Do the JDL condone Jerry's behavior when it comes to my situation? Him trying to get me to sign a contract without legal representation?
They were like, here's your car. And I was like, yippee.
You know what, Jordan? You are right. You do spend your money better.
Fuck the clients.
The only thing getting me through those payments was the idea that I was going to own it at the end.
Yeah, I think you confuse lease with paying in installments. You moron. Let's hope the next hoopla is not as moronic. Well, never mind. This hoopla is even more moronic. So, confusing installments and lease is one form of financial stupidity. This one, however, takes it to the next level. This is the kind of stupidity that is unfathomable to any rational mind. It's so stupid that it's actually genius. I decided to outsource my entire personal financial life to GPT-4. Yes, you heard that right. This person just outsourced his entire personal financial life to AI because he couldn't be bothered to learn how to manage his own finance himself. Now, if you're thinking that handing over your entire bank information to the AI sounds like suicide, that's because it is. You don't know where the AI will be connected to. You don't know if the AI is going to use that personal information only on you or spread it to someone else. You know what makes this problem even worse? GPT-4 is not open source, meaning you cannot look at the program codes to make sure that the AI is not snooping around and sending your data to somebody else. So there is a great chance that this AI will send your financial data to the highest bidder. What's funny is I actually asked ChatGPT what kind of information that I shouldn't share to ChatGPT just to be safe and all of that. And what do you know? ChatGPT tells me to not share my personal information and, most importantly, my financial information, such as credit card number, bank account information, or any other financial information. Now, to be fair, ChatGPT is different to this do not pay app that is powered by GPT-4, which is the system. But do you seriously want to trust this app that is powered by GPT-4 with your financial information? I had to log into every bank account and credit card that I own and scan 10,000 plus transactions. Why? Why would you do that? Are you mad?
Are you mad?
Look, I do not care how awful you are with managing your money, but please, for the love of God, do not give your financial information to anything. I never thought that this is something that needs to be said to people in current year, but here we are. It found $80.86, leaving my account every month in useless subscriptions and offered to cancel every single one. Bro, you can't check your own credit card transactions. You can't check the services that you are subscribing to with your own money. You don't monitor your bank account to make sure that no money is going in and out without your knowledge. I'm just saying, the kinds of people who are this irresponsible with money tend to be real freaking rich. Zero care with their money and financials, and just spend whatever money they got without keeping proper tabs.
I hate all these damn rich people. These damn rich people. Damn these rich people.
Meanwhile, we lower and middle class people are lucky to have a bank account and a phone and a bank app. We are so paranoid with our cash, we would hound the bank for even just 1 cent missing. And by hound, we mean check the app to see what's going in and out. The bots got to work mailing letters in the case of gyms, chatting automatically with agents, and even clicking online buttons to get them canceled. Or you can just, do them yourself. I'm surprised that someone as lazy, irresponsible, and inconsiderate with money like you even go to the gym. If you're decided you're not going to go to the gym anymore, shouldn't canceling your gym subscription be your first priority? You're just going to leave your gym and let it just charge on your credit card as you not use it? Are you insane? This applies to any other subscriptions that you have. Why are you not keeping track of the subscriptions that you have? This next event is just incredibly petty. So he paid $36.99 for in-flight Wi-Fi from United Airlines from London to New York. See? Told you, he's rich. Anyway, he paid for Wi-Fi during flight, but the Wi-Fi doesn't work, apparently. So he asked the AI to make a freaking legal document, basically threatening to report United Airlines to the FTC if they don't refund the $36.99 that he spent for the non-working Wi-Fi. I mean, you could have just, contact United Airlines and complained about the Wi-Fi and ask for a refund directly. But nope, you threatened a lawsuit for a $37 refund. I just think it's a little too extreme. That's all. So yeah, this guy is showing that this product that promises to become your AI financial advisor, which requires you to hand out all your financial information and your email. Oh, and by the way, this GPT app is not available in Android at the moment, only available in iOS, which proves my point even more at how this app is for rich people who don't want to waste money on actual financial advisors, because iPhone owners are the ones who tend to not care about this sort of stuff. Let's move on to the next hoopla. At least the hoopla involves less financial damage. As an incel, you should strive not to be an incel. Seriously. The problem is, the incel community always gives them black pills, as in doomer, gloomer, depressing outlook about reality that makes people to lose confidence about themselves. And thanks to the constant blackpilling, incels will continue to stay an incel and will forever be an incel. So what happens if a prominent person in the community isn't an incel anymore? Well, apparently, an outrage. So Comer Sarge is apparently the incel leader and is gonna leave the community because he already has a girlfriend. And this caused a lot of outrage within the incel community because how dare he chose the hoe before the bros. No, seriously, check this out. It's honestly disgusting that you betray your community when some chick finally settles for you. Well, the community that he is betraying is the incel community, so it's not exactly a huge loss for him. And I agree with this person over here who said this. This is why the incel community will never start a movement and bring about change. That's exactly the biggest problem with the community. They are not working to overcome their status. They are seeking to find people who are just like them so that their lifestyle of loneliness and depression can be validated. It's not a healthy community to be with, and it's gonna bring everyone down to their level. It only takes one hoe to sacrifice herself. Yes, that's how they phrase it. One hoe to rule them all. The whole movement would collapse due to too many betraying. But would you really call it betraying though? Shouldn't quitting being an incel count for a celebration or a graduation? I mean, I know that VTuber graduating isn't exactly good news, but most VTubers that graduate don't receive such vitriol. And considering with what happens to VTubers like Pikami, I think graduating is a much wiser choice. Inceldom isn't some club or movement. Actually, it kind of is, especially when the members of the movement are actively shaming other members who decide to quit the lifestyle. It's a bunch of men who are ostracized from society. Considering their behavior towards you, they got ostracized for a good reason, in my opinion. I get that, but the less of us remain in the community, the weaker our movement and voice becomes. I honestly don't see how that's a bad thing. No, seriously. Why did you leave? Do you manage to stop being an incel? And so then, do you feel no longer being identified with so many sad, depressed men out there? Yes, actually, overcoming sadness and depression is a good thing. And embracing this identity is not gonna help to do that. Imagine if normal people are clueless and careless about being a virgin past 25 to 30 plus years old. I love how you imply that being an incel isn't normal.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
How is it now to have careless ex-incels? That's a good thing. That means incels can evolve and become better. How is this bad? This is the equivalent of LeBron retiring. Well, sorry to say this to you, but all athletes will eventually retire. Human beings will eventually die. But not all incels will eventually get the girl that they want. You know what makes this story even more interesting? This guy, who is apparently a journalist, talked to the person in question, and apparently he added an interesting possibility. The former Incel King's girlfriend, the one that he lost his Incel status towards, he doesn't really prove her existence. Apparently there's a possibility that the girlfriend in question doesn't exist. Yes, really, the Incel King could have faked the whole thing just so that he can have an excuse to quit the community. To be fair, if I was in the community of incels, I'd probably do the same thing. No, seriously though, the former incel in question, according to the journalist, has not proven the existence of the girl that the former incel is dating right now. And because of that, the possibility of her being a total fabrication is instilled upon the people who read it. It's not help when allegedly the girlfriend has a Twitter account and the ad for her account is the most generic of the most generic numbers account. But regardless of the existence of the girlfriend, it is a good move for the former incels to not give out his name, address, and proof of having a girlfriend. And I do agree with the sentiment that journos are absolute scum of the earth. So to the former incel, assuming that the girlfriend in question is real, congratulations. Hope you can move on from the community. To the rest of the incels, your lifestyle isn't healthy. Blackpilling is not good for you, and there's a good reason why people are leaving your community. And that's all for the recap today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the sponsors of the recap for today. You guys are fantastic. If you want to see your names among these awesome people, just $1 and you help this channel so much. Seriously, thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.